guys, thanks so much for watching Socialife, the place to unleash your purpose, your brand, and your life. So thank you so much for being here, remarkable leaders, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm Ashlee Tate, and you're watching Socialife, and today I want to talk to you about a question that I got from Whitney, and it was all about how to improve your public speaking skills, which is something that I think a lot of us don't even want to learn because really, speaking can be daunting. I don't care if you're an extrovert like myself. I love talking to people. But yes, when you think of speaking, it's a little bit daunting because you want to make sure you get it right. You've got all these people watching you. So today I'm going to talk to you about one part of a series that I'm going to start for. There will be 3 parts to this series, and this is the first section. And I want to talk to you about mindset for this one. The most important thing you can have when you're going to speak is have a really strong mindset and a really strong idea of what your purpose is when you are going to take the stage. And when I say the stage, I mean any stage. It doesn't have to be some huge stage where you're talking to thousands of people. This doesn't matter if you're talking to a group of 5 or a group of 2,000. Your mindset is critical into how you're going to approach this. So in today's video, that's what I'm talking about, how to shift that mindset and how to get into the right space to go ahead and do your speech. So to kick off my first tip, I want to start with Dale Carnegie. Now, he is the one who wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People. He writes some great books, and so if you ever have a chance, I would totally check him out. But the thing that he says about speaking, which I love, is that there are 3 different speeches every speaker gives. So the first one is the speech that you actually practiced, okay? And the second is the speech you actually gave, and then the speech that you wish you gave. And I can't tell you how many times most people get off of a stage and they say, I wish I would have said this, or I could have said that, or gosh, I wish I would have included this. We all do it. It's totally normal. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that there are truly 3 different speeches. And the reason there are 3 different speeches is because, yes, you write out your speech and then you rehearse it multiple times and you think it's perfect. And then you're like, get up there on the stage and you start to improvise, which is a beautiful thing. And I think you really should, because that means that you're really reading your audience and you're building off of them and you've become a little bit more relaxed so that you can improvise. And the one thing I want you to take away from this specific tip, because this is the tip right here it comes, is that nobody knows what you're going to say. Like, nobody knows your speech. So it's really important to keep that in mind, because a lot of times we think like, oh gosh, I used to have a really big problem with saying, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you guys, I forgot to say X, Y, and Z. I was like a horrible speaker. I forgot to say this. Oh, I left that out. Ooh, I wanted to add this. The thing is, once I got the information that, gosh, nobody knows exactly what I'm going to say. So if I get up there and I forget something, no one would know. If they knew, they wouldn't need the speech, right? So you have to get up there and think about, no one knows your purpose better than you. No one knows your information better than you. No one knows what you're going to say. So that's what makes doing a speech so awesome and a little bit of a relief, right? Because it's not like you had to hand out your papers on your speech or your outline before you went to speak. No one knows. So keep that in the back of your mind when you get up there and you start getting a little nervous. Keep that in the back of your mind. No one knows, and as long as you're giving good information, honestly, no one really cares. So get up there, do your speech, be confident, and go for it. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I really want you to focus on connecting your purpose to your people. Now, the importance in understanding what you need to say to people is knowing that there's a story between the gap between the purpose and the gap between the people. And when you know your people really well and you know your audience, which you can always find out beforehand, you can find out who your audience is, what you're speaking to them about, what would be critical for them to leave with, like what's some good information. But yeah, you want to determine your audience. Like that's why people sometimes say know your audience, even when you're just at a dinner or something. You want to know the audience, because it will frame the way that you express your message. And so if you're able to use a little improvisation, or you can try to find a way to connect, I think that in between the connection and the purpose, there is a story there that you can find to bring people a little closer to your purpose. Because when you're talking about your purpose, depending on who you're talking to, sometimes they don't have a direct line of connection to what's important to you. And you have to realize that you're not up there for yourself, you're up there for them. So you want them to leave with something. You want to make it easy for them to connect with your purpose. So just remember that. You want to get to know who your audience is. You want to try to find that story inside of your speech, inside of your purpose, that you can share your message. So I would say that if you're going to spend a lot of time doing your outline and things like that, try to find some way that maybe someone can relate to your actual purpose. And if you have time, absolutely contact the person putting on the conference or the show or whatever it is, to find out who your audience is, like where do most of these people come from, what are their backgrounds, find out a little bit of information about them, because it does help to create that story and that continuous thread throughout your speech, so that people can follow along and understand, a little bit more about what you're talking about. So that's my second tip. You want to be able to connect your purpose to your people. So for my last tip, I really would like you guys to think of your stage as an extension of your platform. A lot of times we think of stages as a silo. And so you don't want to be thinking of your stage as a silo, because it's not. It's just an extension of how you share your message. So whether you share your message right now on a blog, or you share your message when you're talking to people, or you share your message on social media, it's no different from that, except you now have the opportunity to really stand there and share your message with hundreds of people. And I don't care if it's 5 people. The thing is that you have the opportunity to share your message in a mass quantity rather than reaching one person at a time. Another thing I want you to think about is, just like with social media, people can keep scrolling through and they don't have to see your message. If they don't want to, they don't have to acknowledge it. They don't have to do anything with it. Think about it like that. You're there to deliver a message, but if people don't want to receive the message, that's not your issue. So the people that are there, they are not being coerced to listen to your message. They are not being forced to listen to your message. They are there because they trust that the people who organized the event found someone who has something to say. So you have to step into that role. You have to step into that leadership role and talk about your purpose and figure out where the congruency is for the people that you're talking to and the purpose that you want to communicate. So the message that you want to communicate. So what I want you guys to do is not really think so much about, oh my gosh, I'm going to go speak on a stage. Just think of this as like, this is a way for people to get to know who I am as a founder, as a leader, or as a business owner, or whichever, and find that way that goes back to number 2 of how you can connect. Find that congruency there. So that was my last tip on creating the mindset that you need for public speaking. Yes, it can be daunting, but I want you to realize, 1, they don't know what you're going to say. 2, on top of that one, is that every speaker has 3 different types of speeches. So you are going to prepare, you are going to do the best you can, you're going to practice, all these things. Then you're going to get on stage and you're going to do a different type of speech. And then when you get off the stage, you're going to be like, oh man, I wish I would have said X, Y, and Z. So don't stress so much about your speech being perfect. Just know that it won't be. That's number 1. Number 2 is be sure to try and connect the pieces for people to get to your purpose. Use your message or your story as the piece that's going to connect the two. And number 3 is think of your communication on stage as an extension of the communication you use as a platform as a whole. So whatever you say in your newsletters, whatever you say on your social media, whatever you decide to say when you see someone in person, how would you talk about these things at baseline? Like, don't think about the fact that you're standing on the stage. Just think about the fact that you are here to share a message, you were invited to speak, you wanted to speak, whichever the case. Maybe you think this is the perfect audience for you, and now they need to hear your message. So that's the most important thing. I hope you keep those 3 things in mind for your mindset shift when you're going to speak. And Whitney, thank you so much for asking that question. I do have a series of other videos that are coming out on this specific subject, and it will be out next Tuesday. So I'll be sure to link the 2, and if you would like to come join a tribe of remarkable leaders as well. Come join us in the Socialife tribe. You can find the link to your free invitation down below, and you just go to ashleetate.com and sign up there, and then your link will come in your email. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you guys, and if you are already a business that's been formed, or you're a 501c3 that's already been formed, and you want to learn how to build your business and learn how to build out your strategic vision and learn how to do your public relations and all of those types of things, come join us in the Academy. That's my monthly membership, and your opportunity to have one-on-one calls with me and to also attend monthly master classes. So I look forward to seeing you guys there, and thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.